Greetings and welcome. I am Joffrey, and today we are watching the Project Caesar official announcements. Good old-fashioned watch party. Haven't done one of these in a long time. Europa Universalis Rome 2. Isn't it March of the Eagles 2? Is that not what I established in my video 12 hours ago? Or what was I saying? No, did I say Terra Universalis? I forget. There's some poor people that I saw that honestly believed the video, and despite all of my mentions of the Aztecs and their floating pyramids being brought down by Cortez. March of the Eagles 2? No March of the Eagles 2? Terra Universalis, yes, that is what it will be called. Hold up, I need to watch this announcements, even I don't know what the game is being... the messages they've had at the bottom of this thing are unhinged. Victoria -1. It's true. That's what it honestly is. Victoria -1. Oh, they're changing the color again. Greetings, everyone. This is gonna be so great. Oh, hey, Baldy. Hey, Matt Fur. Hey, I am so ready. But as you know, thanks to my friends on Discord, I know everything. I know all the true facts. No, in all seriousness, yeah, Matt Fur. I did not actually watch any of the leaked stuff. I just after hearing about the leak and having people in VC talking about it with me while I was doing world building things, I got them to not spoil anything specific, and I just told them, tell me a bunch of just fake stuff. Tell me what's in the leaked video, wrong answers only, and then I would make a video about it, and that's what I did. That's what I mean, yeah. Yeah, so I got everyone who had actually watched it to tell me what was in it with wrong answers only. So they watched the Lambert video, and then they told me just fake stuff that was in it, is the point. And then I made a video that was just me saying everything that I was told was in it that was fake. And it's confused everyone, and it's beautiful. It's fitting to be watching the first time live after watching every VOD for over a year. Well, that's that's great to hear. I know. Yes, people be lurking. People be not managing to catch a live until such a situation is now, because as is probably the case with you, Marks, Finn. When we do the live streams for the Tinto Talks, it's always later in the day, so, or maybe it's earlier in the day depending on the time, or yes, maybe it's earlier in the next day depending on where you're at. The Terra Universalis situation is crazy. That's what I should have called this. Should have called it the Terra Universalis situation is crazy instead of the watch party. March of the Eagles 2, Electric Boogaloo. I am not the king of the people. I am the shadow of God on earth. What the hell, Zuluman? What kind of line is that? Oh, goodness.
It's about humility.
It's about humility. I almost said humidity. Yes, very humid. I believe that. Hello, Mr. Dutch. Mr. Dutchman Legende. A pleasure to see you. Colors will change until morale improves. What else did I miss people saying? Yeah. Looks like I'm caught up on all the messages now. Okay. That brings us, only 6.5 minutes left until Autumn in Universalis, someone just said in the actual stream chat. yes. I'm sure that's what it will be too. Exactly. Who is in the Discord call that I'm in right now? Hello, Dark. I see Dark just joined the call. I'm live on YouTube as of now, pre-yapping about before the actual thing goes live.
Hey, Joe.
Pre-app.
Hello, Frank.
Can I ask? Hello. I just wanted to ask you, what do you think about the conversation in general with Ale talking about the NDA and all that about his leak?
I know we've talked about that for a while, and with him, the fact that he's posting the leaked video everywhere. Again, I still haven't seen it, so I don't know how bad it really is, but I've heard it's really bad. I just don't think he's actually going to get in trouble for it. But he seems to be
No. Unless you're like, oh no, I'm saying this. My lawyer told me to do this, like that, whatever. Meanwhile, Leo on the other hand, going to the Paradox official server and putting it there, and getting the end.
I'm sure he's gonna be fine.
Oh my god.
Oh,
we even found the link thing. We even found the link thing of the woman that he took the video that he posted, the stream yesterday he was doing. Damn, like it's insane. But I'm gonna let you continue.
Matt, for no, I do not actually think they're going to shadow drop the game today. No, I do not. In fact. Yo, Steve Jobs died from ligma? Wait, what's ligma?
Ligma balls.
Dark, what's that?
Who the fuck is Steve Jobs?
What the fuck is Steve Jobs? What? Huh? I don't understand. Ligma balls? Oh no! No!
You just got.
No Blackfoot Universalis. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm as sorry as you are. It's not Blackfoot Universalis. This just in. It's just in. That's not the game. Yeah, the Stellaris OST. Day 1 DLC, yeah. Aren't you excited to pre-order the game and get the Stellaris OST for free? The Sugma outbreak is gonna be that's gonna be the best when you're colonizing the new world and you give Sugma to all of the natives. Oh no. The Terra Universalis situation is crazy. And yes, Matt, I do mean the Lambert one. That's what I'm talking about, where I heard that Lambert leaked the video accidentally, and then a bunch of people in my server were watching it. So I didn't watch it, and I told them not to actually spoil it for me. I just told them to tell me fake facts that they got from it. And then I said all these fake facts in the video. But I called them real facts. That's the bait and switch. So I was very devious and referred to them as true facts. You're behind. Oh no. Oh no! I'm behind! Yeah, by like 1 second. Just repeated whatever Lambert said. Yeah, isn't that? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Lambert in his video. Yeah, according to them, he just sat there in front of a black background in the darkness, reading off facts. And the Pope has the ability to full annex any Catholic country when he passes a papal bull. Yes.
True.
That was one thing I forgot to add. Also, the Barbary states, all the North African countries, they their economies are artificially made worse, so that they need to rely on slave raiding to increase their value. I wouldn't lie. Yes, I wouldn't lie. It's actually that's EU6. Sorry. Shiki the Pope. Wonder if they elected before the game starts. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I assume not. I probably would have heard of that through the grapevine by now, though. The bald Saskatchewanian. Yeah, it's true. The most horrible thing about EU5 is that Alberta is called Saskatchewan. It's terrible stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, you wish you could be Saskatchewan. Let's be honest.
Of course. Manitoba. No, that's even... No, I never. Manitoba. That place is entirely
one's even better.
marsh. It's cold bogs.
That one's even cooler. Mate, Shrek.
Okay. Yeah, true. Also, they farm rice in those cold bogs, believe it or not. It actually tastes really good. The Black Death will be called the White Life, thank you exactly. And yes, Frank, the flying pyramids are the best part about EU5, honestly, yeah. the Aztecs fly in their pyramids, and then they fall with the Aztec Empire, literally, when Cortez shows up. I have no idea what they called someone from the Northwest Territories. Actually, that's a good question.
Northwesterner.
Hello everyone, I'm Johan Anderson. I'm the studio manager of Project Caesar. We've been teasing you guys about this project for over a year now, and now it's finally time to reveal what this is all about.
Fucking map he's gonna open up. John Universalis himself!
With each stroke of the brush, the landscape unfolds. And with every gesture, a path is carved through history.
Yeah, paint the map, I guess. Just with the brush.
Ambition, once ignited, pushes forward and can never be tamed. With every line, a new horizon. Drawn from the wells of ancient civilizations, the landscape changes, but the drive remains. Painting with the sharp reds of revolution and the black ash of scorched battlefields. Legacy is forged of the chosen, tracing the silhouettes of warriors. With the final stroke, like fire across the landscape. Never before has the canvas stretched so far. Europa Universalis 5.
What?
Be ambitious.
Whoa! I thought it was gonna be March of the Eagles 2!
I was lied to.
Or you.
This
Or
is a
Europa
scam. This is a
Universalis
scam.
4, number 2.
Unacceptable.
Europa Universalis. For the second. Yeah.
It's already on Steam game.
Yo, it's finally happening. How does it feel?
I don't have words to describe how excited I am about
God.
this. This is gonna be so good.
So I'm an EU4 player with 5,000 hours. How different of an experience is this going to be
There
for
you
me?
go. Steam link post.
It's not like playing a new expansion. There's we've tried to change mechanics at every single place. Everything's going to be new. I would say throw away the 5,000 hours, but it's still going to be some things.
Fucking late.
So you and the team have been working on this for a very long time. How happy have you been with progress?
Does this bar go to 11?
It can if you want.
Yeah, well...
So very happy.
No
I'm
way is it
super
coming
happy.
out
It's like
tomorrow.
my team is among the best people I've ever worked with.
That's
They're
a fat
been
lie.
recruiting people a lot from
Literally,
the
it's
community,
already out right
with people
now.
with a lot of experience, to be so great. An amount of history, an amount of mechanics, and everything you we've fucking got believe into it? the game is beyond what I dreamed of when we
Not even
started.
showing up. It's a
Do you have like
lie.
a single word in mind to describe the idea behind what you're trying to achieve?
Ambitious, is that a good word? to
Ambitious
use?
is a very good use.
Yeah, I would just describe the game as we set out very ambitious, and it's a game where you can do pretty much everything. in the
Everything.
game. Yeah,
So it doesn't matter how I want to play it, there's something for me to do.
Yeah, it's like if you want to play a Hanseatic trader nation, you can do that, just focusing on trade. Or if you want to relive
soon.
the Ottoman Empire's expansion as a militaristic country, you can do that. Or if you just want to sit and play as your
Get 8 sign-up
country
rewards.
somewhere and just get through history, you can do that.
So the world itself is something that's alive.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
wish
that's the
listable.
best description of the game. We're trying to feel like a game where it shouldn't feel like a game. It should feel like you actually are the country, playing that country through history and guiding it.
And how important would you say the community has been to the development of this game?
I don't think there's word that can describe how important they are.
Yeah, Steam
because
page does have
part of my
pictures.
team is built from the community.
It does.
We have been talking for over a
was
year
quick.
in various ways,
I was right on that
asking for
shit.
feedback about the game.
Well done,
'Cause
Dark. Well done.
If there's one thing these 30 years have taught me, is that the community is vital for making a good game. You can't just sit on your own and code something.
Well, Johan, I think I'm ready. Tell me everything there is to know.
How much time do you have?
It's 5,000 hours in EU4, I can spend a little more.
Yeah, well, I brought a bunch of developers that are more knowledgeable about the details of the game than I am, and they're in the castle up here
What are
ahead.
they going to say?
Well, let's go find him.
Yes, let's do.
We'll just have to see. Look at that beautiful landscape. Everything's dead.
That looks like my home. What do you
Welcome to Skogkloster Slot. The servant here will
That's
take
just
care
the
of your
forest
sword.
terrain in EU5.
Thank you.
What do you mean?
So what happens now? Where should I go?
Well, my journey here is over, but in this castle there's a lot of developers that will give you all the information you need. But you need to take this to
Wars
Eric.
can be
He will know what
situations
to do
even?
with it.
Nah.
Okay.
Like the 100
you so
Years
much.
War is
Thank
a
you so much,
situation.
and good luck on your journey.
No way.
Crazy. That's insane. Like, the 100 Years War situation is insane, guys.
Before this castle was built in 1654, this was just a remote slice of land, a blank canvas. The man who built this castle had been in dozens of them before, but he thought to himself, I can build one even better.
Hey, I didn't know
You've
that
loved
either.
and you've lived Europa Universalis, but parrots have thought to themselves, we can build one even bigger and even better. Today, I'm going to take you on a journey to discover how they've done just that with Europa Universalis 5.
Because yes, they built EU5 in this castle, I'm sure. Yeah, these are all.
It was in this
Relic of my
exact
journey
one.
is Dave. Hi, Dave.
Heck yeah.
Oh, hi Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Welcome to the workshop.
It's a great workshop. So this room feels like a pretty good metaphor for the start of game development. How do you even begin with a project as ambitious as Europa Universalis 5?
Well, we started 5 years ago by
Nintendo talk.
building a new studio in Spain, specifically to make the project. So we
Honestly, I'm
hired
just baffled
modders, we
that this
hired
whole-time Project
super fans,
Caesar
we hired
was
the
EU5.
best developers
I-
from around the world.
I don't know what to say.
Specifically to make this
There
project.
were literally
So once you've
0
assembled
signs
this
that
great team-
indicated it.
Where do you go from that? What's your first starting point?
It starts with a vision, and that vision came from Johan, and it was, I want to make the grandest strategy game. That includes everything from having, from being the most immersive game we could possibly make,
don't know what the guy
having
from Mayo looks like.
a living world where everything feels like it's impacting something else.
So you've taken all the
grandest
buzzwords,
grand
gone historically
strategy, that's
accurate,
the idea.
dynamism, you want immersion. How do you take those ideas and put them into a game?
That's a tricky question. Well, one of the things you start with is making concept art, so we can decide how everything looks and feels.
He,
What's the first mechanic that comes to mind? What do you start with?
he said.
Pops,
He said Dave
which
when he came
are
in.
population
so
groups,
I guess
groups
so.
of people. So, for example, people of the same culture and religion band together into a single unit, and they can be anything from just one person to a million people. One of these units.
So a single person to multiple millions of millions. So we're simulating hundreds of millions at the start of the game.
We're
Some
simulating
think
every
we've written
person who was
math
alive in
techniques.
1337.
That's a lot of people.
Yes.
So the population system is tied into everything that
That's
you
an
do.
hour
How do I get
video,
more
and
of
it's
them?
EU5.
With food
not
production.
EU
So the
Rome
more food you
2.
produce, the more surplus you have, which increases your population growth.
Well, thanks
and
thanks
then, of
for
course,
the
the reverse
super
is true. If they're starving,
I don't
you're
understand
gonna
what
lose a
you
lot of
mean.
pops.
What's the
So we're
5,000 hour
modeling
video?
individuals being born, working, dying. I'm assuming they're also going to stratify throughout society. What does that look like?
Yeah, so each pop has a type, a sort of social class, which could be, of course, nobility, burghers,
Europe
peasants.
Universalis Rome, too.
They all have different jobs, depending on which class they're in, and they also belong to
It
different
basically
estates
is
in your
Europe
government.
Universalis
So
Rome,
what's an
too,
estate?
though.
What do they do?
An estate is
I
a
mean, that's
group
what
of
Imperator
pops
Rome was
who have
supposed to
a political agenda. Now, most countries have the nobility, burghers, clergy, and peasants. And basically, they all have their own privileges that you give them and can take away from them. You can also sort them by social class. So, for example, clergymen are in a different group from nobility.
Show no picture.
And that would be the estate system.
It ties into the estate system, yes.
How does the estate system work?
So your pops organize into estates which have their own agenda. They have their own ideas of how
do
they
like
want to run
burgers.
the country.
What if the nobility decide they want something different to me? Can they just go off and do it?
It depends. If you give them the right privileges, you might give them the ability to build their own fortifications or
Pictures
or
on
allow
Steam
your
make cities
peasants
look
to
like
arm
the ones in
themselves.
Imperator.
So regardless of if I want it, if I've given them that
I'll avoid
privilege,
looking too closely
they're going
at
to go
that
and
for
do it. And
now,
I'm
though. I
assuming
want to see that here, I
if
think.
their agendas and my agenda line up, that's going to benefit me quite nicely.
But they don't always line up. That's the,
Presumably they're going to show it here.
that's the rub.
And yes, Leith has the funny Swedish outfit for sure.
What is a privilege? You mentioned nobility building forts. What does that look like in terms of other privileges, like with the clergy?
So you could, for example, give your burghers control over the coinage. It's all about give and take. You almost never want to give them a privilege, but sometimes it becomes necessary.
So give me a context in which it's
You don't
necessary.
all-
Why would
what?
I give out a privilege?
Maybe you want to pass something through Parliament, and the nobility
'Cause
say,
in-
we'll only let that if you give us this privilege.
If the inverse happens,
in
their
EU4
agenda doesn't align with me,
you
I
want
need
to give
either
a
bring
ton
them
of
under control or
privileges.
pacify them.
Yes, if you're feeling confident, you can remove privileges from an estate, but you need to be sure that you're in a good position
Late
to
City
do
has
that.
over
So it's a
5,000
constant
hours in
balance. I need to
EU4
make
in
sure
response
that
to Johan saying
happy
how much
but
do
not
you
too
get?
powerful that they can take me out. So if I manage to
Yes,
do
he does.
everything
He did say,
correctly, what does that look like?
If you have a happy populace,
he was
happy
talking about
estates,
having
you have a prosperous
5,000
nation,
hours, so
and
he
that will
has
allow you to
more
go
time.
from
He can
this
spend a little more time talking. Yeah.
to this.
Well, I've done quite well for myself.
Well done.
Thank you very much. So EU5 stretches from 1337 to 1837. That's
There
500
is
years
no
of
way
history.
they
A
chose the
lot
Pope
happens in that time period.
while they're doing
Talk me
this.
through how the game changes to
That
reflect
would
the
be
changes in
crazy.
history.
So we've divided the era into 6 different ages, and inside those ages,
No, they did,
we
they
have
did.
different
That's true.
institutions. So that every slice of 100 years or so feels different from the previous one or the next one. Is much more about medieval fiefdoms and this sort of old order. But by the end of the game, you have the Industrial Revolution.
I don't know where specifically
You know,
you're filming
prices
that
of
out.
coal go up. People are using more modern technology.
Well, let's talk technologies. These more modern
New
technologies
Pope
you're
in
speaking
chat.
about. How does the technology system in the game
New
work?
Pope.
So once you've embraced an institution, that unlocks a brand new technology tree. And players can choose to go down that list and unlock specific things from that tree.
So you mentioned institutions. What exactly are they?
So an institution is an idea that spreads. For example, it could be the quest for the new world, which changes the way that you can explore.
Crazy work from the business team pressuring the Cardinals into electing the new Pope.
So
during
exploration was a
their
big
life.
thing during this era. I'm assuming that's also modeled in the game.
Yes.
How does that work?
So once you reach the age of discovery, you might want to start looking over the oceans and to decide to
they-
colonize distant
They did
lands.
have the
So
Iroquois
colonization,
as a land
how does
decay.
that work?
So any country
The
can
Iroquois.
colonize. And it's a lot
The
easier if you
Iroquois.
have Quest for the New World institution embraced.
All my homies love
But
Onondaga.
colonization essentially allows you to take unclaimed territory
there's so many
and
Turks in the chat.
absorb it into
Yes.
your
What
empire.
about the Iroquois?
So any country can
The
colonize. I don't
Iroquois
have to be
are
a
the
specific
landed,
nation to
settled
colonize.
tag,
Exactly.
At game start. They weren't
How
originally
different
when they first showed
does
North
gameplay vary
America.
from place to place?
The games
Oh, that's
vary
nice.
quite a lot depending on which
That'll be pretty
country
fun.
you choose. You're impacted so much by your setup, what pops you have, what terrain you have, and what neighbors you have. That every playthrough is going to be different if you're playing with France against Flanders.
But I'm not
Cairo,
locked
one
in,
thing-
am I? I
so one
can
thing
I
that's
can
different
take
about
the starting position of
institutions we
France
know
and
is
go
that
wherever I
if you
want. I
meet
could
the
colonize, I could
requirements for
fight,
an
I could
institution to
focus on the
spawn,
economy, I
but
could
it
focus on
didn't
trade.
spawn in you,
Exactly.
you will get progress.
It's not railroaded.
You'll
You
get,
can choose which
progress
path you want.
towards
So
growing
you
it,
can take
regardless
France
of
as
whether it's next to you, if that makes
a
sense.
big trading nation, or you could just conquer your neighbors.
So the big takeaway is that it is a living world.
Exactly.
A
In order to
living
achieve what we've been
world?
talking about, to do
that's
any
kind
of the
of a
scenarios we've
buzzword,
gone
but
through, I have to take
it's
care of my
kinda true.
population, right?
Exactly. Your population influences every decision you take. Your population is your economy, and your economy is your population. So you have to look after them if you want to
Don't
lead
tempt
your
me,
country
Hot
to wealth.
Pocket. I will put
Here's to
the
wealth.
White Hands
To wealth.
tribe somewhere in my mod. Don't make me do it. That is a really nice castle, though.
Every game needs a solid framework, and EU5 will have just that.
It
The
should be
population
goddamn
mechanic will be at the
maps,
heart of everything that you do. And if you manage it
Too
carefully,
much
you
talking.
will be
People just
rewarded
want to
with
see
a
the
prosperous
game.
realm.
They're upset.
Hundreds of
This
millions
is
of people
great.
are going to be simulated in a fully dynamic, living world. But what does that actually mean? Let's go to the library to find out.
Well, Cairo, Africa doesn't have the spawn conditions for the Renaissance, so what you need to do is you need to wait. You need to wait until you have vision range on the Renaissance institution, and then you can use one of your ministers to have it increase the progress of its
That's going to
growth
complicate the interview.
in your lands, even if you wouldn't have any progress otherwise.
Can you tell me about the living world?
Living world means that things don't come out of nothing. It's
Roger.
the
Roger.
population
I
that
do
live in
remember
the
this guy.
locations which produce the goods by working in the resource gathering operations, or RGO for short. And then those goods are used in other buildings.
What are those? How do I build them? How do I use them?
Buildings are in locations, and there are many types of
Buildings
buildings
are
that
in
all of them do
locations?
different
Yep.
things. But in general, they will take resources to maintain. To
Greek
build,
brothers, serve
and
your
some of them
bosses
will
again. We
produce
love
other
you.
types
Turkish flag,
of
Turkish
goods.
flag.
And they will employ the population. To
This
do
has
that.
become a Greek
What I
versus
do
Turk.
with those
It's
goods?
hilarious.
All the
chat.
goods produced,
Wonderful.
both
What
raw
is
resources
this?
and refined goods,
I love it.
Bots
and from there they
on
are
both
used
sides.
to
This is
supply the
hilarious.
needs of the
Now
population
the French are
and the
getting
needs of the
involved.
building.
What the hell?
So, what is a market? How does that work?
Yeah,
There was this
it's
one
a
guy. I
difficult
love
concept.
Armenia Turkish flag. I love
Imagine
Armenia
you're
Turkish
playing as
flag.
England, for example. You have a market center in London,
I can't, man.
and that would attract the locations around it to the London market. Locations will be pooled towards one market or another, depending on the conditions, and
The
all the
markets are
locations
such a good
belonging to
system,
a
man.
market will get the resources from that market.
So, if another market has something that I don't have, I can trade for it.
Yes, exactly. If you need some good in your market that you don't have access to, you'll have to make a trade deal between any two markets that you have access to.
Let's say a location is in the market of Scandinavia, let's call it. Is that permanent or can they shift?
Now, markets are completely dynamic. Every location will belong to a market or another
It's
market,
probably not going to
depending
run on your laptop,
different
Cairo,
factors.
I'll say that much.
And markets themselves can be created
Yeah,
and destroyed
doubt.
completely freely. Well, freely. They have a cost.
Same with
I'm,
whatever
as a
computer
player, can
them
both
has.
create and destroy markets
Yes,
under
you
my
can-
control.
Yes, you can create your own market
Block,
if you are,
maybe?
for
No,
example,
I don't
if
think
you
it
are
would even
playing in
block.
Sweden and you don't have a market because
Cairo's
you're
computer
trading in the market of Lure,
crawls
for example,
CK3, so it's not
and
gonna.
you
It's not
see
gonna
it more
function.
beneficial for you to have a market in Stockholm. You can create a market in Stockholm.
So, in this Stockholm market, let's say I wanted something like legumes. how could I
Legumes?
get it if it wasn't already in the market?
Motherfucker, they're
If you
legumes.
want some good that's
Like,
not
get
in your
like
market,
out of here.
then you have to
Bro.
make a trade
Legummies.
deal. A country can make
Can't
a
say
trade
legummies,
deal
right?
between any two markets that they have access to, and that
And
would
the
move the
stream,
goods from
legummies.
the stockpile of that market to the market you're moving.
So if I'm Sweden, I can have Danish provinces in my location.
Yes,
I highly
the
doubt the
goods
performance
produced
is good
in
right
the
now, but the
Danish
game's probably
locations
not coming
will
out
be
for
used in
another
your
half
market.
year at
So
absolute
if
best.
I'm buying goods and selling goods, what determines the price
what I would
of
assume,
those
at least.
goods?
Trade deals have a cost based on the distance
Assuming they
between the
even give
markets,
us an announcement.
and also
or a
depending on
release
the
date.
price of the specific good. Each good have a base price, and
I think they
also
will,
it
but-
will be modified depending on basically supply and demand between the different markets they are being traded. So if a good is very abundant in a market,
Yeah,
it
the
will
chat
be
was
cheap.
actually nice
And if
until the
it's
stream started.
not that abundant or basically scarce, it will be expensive.
How do I get the money to then buy goods at a loss?
Countries can gain income from a variety of sources, but the main one is basically taxing your population. However, you won't be able to completely tax all your population because it will depend on the control you have on the locations.
So what's control?
God, it gets so
Control
bad so
is
quickly.
an indicative
Oh.
of basically the amount of power that your country has in a location, and it will irradiate from
I'll
your
be honest,
capital.
it might have been
You
my
have
fault.
your cabinet to increase control if you want.
How can I gather more taxes from like a location?
You
Contract,
step one
the
foot
Poles
outside
showed
of-
up.
Tool that the
You take
countries
one
have
step
at their
outside of
disposal is the
Stockholm
cabinet.
and just all
That gives me an idea.
the control
Thanks, Roger.
becomes like nothing instantly.
So
All
Roger
of
has just
Finland
told
is
us
in the
about the living
20s.
world, dynamic markets, and how to build a prosperous nation. But all I heard was newly conquered territories. Let's head to the armory.
That's a pretty neat armory, I gotta say.
Play.
Oh, Eric!
Welcome to the armory.
Thank you. I've been given this map. I think it's finally time we show them.
Let's do that.
Okay.
This is a map of 1337, but how accurate is it?
Well, Leith, I would say this is the most accurate and granular map we ever made for a grand strategy game.
I'm sure it will not
So
change
you're going
at
to need
all
to take me through
more
this beautiful
before
map here.
release.
How important is
Never.
historical accuracy to something like this?
I'm glad you asked, because basically the map we're starting in 1337, I would say we made a huge effort in making it as accurate and granular as possible, which that obviously has its challenges. For example,
Look at
in
the
the
live
warfare end
action
of things,
cutscene in
since
EU5,
now
this
the
is
diversity
crazy.
geographically wise is huge, so a lot of things
It's
can
huge.
impact the outcome of a war.
It's
So
huge.
basically what we are talking here is that, for example, let's say if you had a military
Oh,
campaign
Mags, it was more
in
empty the
something
last time
around
they
the
showed it.
Caucasus area over here with Armenia and the potential rise of Ottomans and this part of the world, what you would encounter is that it's a very steep place with sort of very thin areas to go through, and that obviously you might feel it like it's an opportunity, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a trap. It's a huge trap. By that, which I mean
map
is
is
that
probably going
things
to
like,
change a lot
let's
before
say,
release, is what I'm
rivers,
saying, kinda.
mountains, straits, those definitely can define the outcome of a battle and potentially the outcome of a war. So you have to be very careful with how you treat your movement of troops in the map.
So before we even get to war, what kind of preparations do I need to make to supply my armies?
I would say, first of all, that going into a war is not easy at all. And yeah, you can be challenged in case they declare to you if you are not prepared. In case you are the one that wants to be the aggressor, I would say that the first thing to consider is building a war chest. That would
Attacking
be for
someone's gonna be
starters.
much harder in this
But
game,
also
yeah.
you have to be very careful with the production game loop of things. Because at starting date, basically you rely a lot into raising levies. And those levies come from population. And the thing is that this population is the one that's responsible for the outcome of your buildings. So what I'm saying here is that when you start a campaign in 1337
Armenia
and
showed
you
up in
raise
chat because they
all
talked
your
about
levies,
Armenia in the
you're
stream.
making your buildings
They said
part of them.
See.
they talked
So
about
you're telling me that
playing
if
as
I
Armenia
raise
and
all of my
conquering
levies,
part of
get into a
Persia,
bad
and
battle,
how it could potentially
and
be
my
a trap
army gets
because
wiped out, I'm also wiping out all of my populations at
Suddenly
home,
your
so there's
whole
no one
country is
to
Turk-
work
is
in the
gonna be,
fields and
like,
all the buildings.
Yeah,
Turkish
that
and
is
Persian.
correct.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about military objectives, what are some of those military objectives? Can I tell an army to go siege? Can I tell an army to go engage other armies? How does that
Exactly.
work?
Please don't.
Like for starters, there would be one of the most used, I assume, is
Be
going
better
to
than
be
them,
the
please.
cavalry,
Exactly.
which basically is the one that allows you to make
Okay, well,
a lot
you were
of your
making the
armies
joke a little too
go
often
straight
for me to
towards
think it's a joke.
the forts of your enemy, so you don't
'Cause
need
it was
to
not a funny
be
joke.
micromanaging on that regard, and that obviously has its pros and its cons. Like, let's say you are too lightly on these tools and you use them a bit too much. Maybe you are not defending your own country, because there is a military objective to defend your own lands or to call everyone back to defend. But if you are just using the tools in an aggressive way, it's probably gonna screw you up when it comes to the enemy.
So let's say, hypothetically, I am an Englishman.
Yes.
And I want to press my rightful claim on the throne of France. Can I use my superior navy and sailing ability?
Definitely, 100%. Like, navies in EU5
how?
are meant to be, first of all, for movement of troops.
How will
That
you
is
defeat France with your
huge,
superior navy when you
thing that
can't
helps
land?
the troops to move around, but also it supplies
I mean, you can
nearby
land in
armies.
Aquitaine,
So
though,
that would be something to
They
take
have
into
that at
account.
the start.
I would also add to this that if
So
you,
they've done a lot of
as an
research into
Englishman,
Jesus
start,
and how he
let's
walked on
say,
water.
you go to with
They
an
learned
army
how to sail
and
boats
you go
through
here,
land.
and you start going deep into French territory, thanks to your navies, basically.
It was truly
what you
genius.
would get is that a lot of the locations in France, when you occupy them, you can basically get their food.
So I can live off the land in France?
Yes.
Sorry, you
that's
got out. What did you say?
that's the thing.
talking about the stream.
And also, like, it goes both ways, because you get
what are
the
you
food
guys
of the
watching?
enemy,
We're-
and that means
okay,
the
why are
enemy
you
doesn't
here
get
if
the
you're not
food.
here
So
for the
that is
stream?
pretty good for your outcome.
I'm
So you
here
mentioned
for
that wars are
whatever.
won and lost according to your economy, if you're
Watching
active
the
at all.
announcement stream.
How do I win a battle?
Winning a battle can be decided by a lot of factors. First of all, as the most usual one, if you have the biggest army, you probably will win. But the thing is that this game doesn't assure you that.
So the different factors are
Doesn't
size
show
of the
you
army,
that, but
Yes.
they just said that
professionalism of
you,
the army,
Yes.
the
but
general,
the other
the
Tinto
terrain,
talk, they
Yeah.
showed
and
that you
beyond.
do see enemy army
I would say
size.
supplying your army with food. If an army has low
And a big
morale
old number
due
over
to
the map.
low food supply, then it's another factor to consider. An
So if
army,
they're starving to death, they can't fight.
basically that.
So what are the potential ramifications of starvation then?
That your entire army could die of starvation, which would be a very bad outcome.
Maybe I should
I
have
would say
changed
so.
the,
And that means probably that
activity of the channel.
the enemy will be super happy about it. So, but yeah, in order to supply your army, you would have to consider, first of all, supply depots. That's something you have to get from locations in order to, especially if your campaign is long and you are very deep into the enemy land. And there's some countries here that I would say are huge
you
in
can't
terms of
just ignore some
territory.
flies?
Let's say you start as Morocco and you want to invade Castile.
footage of
So
the map.
The more you get into
Footage of the
the
map.
specific territory, the
Map.
more you might be punished. And you should
Damn.
prepare.
That's what it looks like, huh?
So
But-
if I'm Tunisian
Yes.
and
At
I
least
want
the
to
political
invade
map.
Castile,
Yes.
the deeper I go, the
And
more I
look
need
at
to
all the
consider
little
supply
dudes.
because I could be cut off.
Yeah,
Look at them
that's
all.
pretty much it. But not only that, because if you don't make sure that your own country is safe in terms of occupations, then you could face another problem, which is that your enemy
Still no
cuts down your
terrain
supply.
map, but I
And
mean,
that would mean that at the
assuming
end,
that
you
there-
wouldn't
I
get
assume there's a terrain
that
map.
much needed food.
Let's say I have a weaker economy than my opponent. They're going to win. Am I able to secure quick tactical victories in order to beat my opponent? How can I take their resources away from them?
Well,
It's on the
that's a
Steam
very good
page?
question
Okay.
because there's a lot of opportunities. For once, the map we have in this game allows you to browse very carefully which enemy locations might be producing from the land the goods that are meant to
certainly
supply
assume
their
they'll show
units.
it on the stream.
So I guess a smart choice. Let's, for example, choose the Golden Horde. So Golden Horde relies heavily on horses, as we all know. So if you detect the places that have horses in it, and you are quick enough to occupy those, you're basically decreasing their chances to fill up their ranks once they have some losses, and that would benefit you a lot. That also would include other types of factors, like, let's say,
If I kill
you are
horse,
occupying
they can't
a
ride
location,
horse.
there is meant to be a huge food supply
You'll
for your
definitely
enemy.
want to
Then you are doing a
try
very
and
good
build
strategy,
your
because you are cutting them down as
arms
well.
industries
Actually,
in
the
places that are
magic
heavily
of this
defended as
granularity,
well.
that it allows you to, if that country is facing other wars, or if that country is just having an internal problem with the managing of their
That's
supplies,
because it was the
then
political
you have an
map, Cairo.
opportunity there. So yeah, I would say that if you are using a small country, you're playing a small country, you might
Don't
have
like
a
the
chance
UI.
to succeed. You,
So it's less about the size of the dog in
people
the fight
complain
and more
about the
how much
UI
food is in his
all the
food bowl.
time.
yeah,
That's no
that,
surprise.
I would
yeah.
say that. Yes.
Nice.
There's many ways to punish your enemy. Another good option, obviously, but that even comes from EU4 times, although in this case I would say it's harder, would be to occupy the capital. When you occupy the capital of the enemy, basically you are...
The victor.
yeah.
Well, Eric, thank you so much for all that fantastic information, but I have just one more question for you. How many princes are there in the HRE?
The H. Oh my god, I hate this man.
H.
Eric?
Oh my god. Also, they have a definitive
So
number.
Eric left before I could get all the answers that I wanted, but fortunately I know somewhere else that I can seek guidance.
Oh my god, did they go into a church? The H-R-E. The H-R-E.
Forgive me, random church bench dev, for I have sinned.
Random church bench dev. What does it mean by the fact that the new pope was elected while they...
I have a question about faiths.
While they were
About
announcing
your
this.
faith.
No, about faiths in the game.
Oh, well, that I can help you with. We do have around 300 faiths in the game. There's, for example, Catholicism, there's
300.
Buddhism, there's Zoroastrianism, there's Shintoism, and plenty of faiths.
And do they have their own unique mechanics?
Yes, everyone has own unique set of
Yeah,
mechanics.
the Cardinals
that they
had to
can
watch the
interact and
stream,
play
it's
with.
true.
And I'm assuming all these different pops have.
Yep, that's why they
varieties of
finished the
different
election
faiths.
quick.
Yes, each pop will belong to a specific faith. And in your country, there could be pops
Why no
of many
atheismo?
diverse faiths
No
that
atheismo
you will have
pops.
to interact with. And they could be perfectly happy, but they could also be unhappy when their different faith could become a problem for you.
So if there's a pop that has the same faith as me, they're perfectly happy.
Not necessarily. They can be perfectly unhappy while sharing your own faith.
Great.
You will have a lot of minorities, both of culture and of faith in your country at all times, mostly. And what you can do about them is, well, you can convert and assimilate them, or you could tolerate and accept those cultures and those faiths.
No, convert
You
them
mentioned
all.
that I can tolerate them. Does that mean that I can have a fully tolerant society, tolerating all minorities?
Yes, if you're particularly humanist, that's definitely a goal to strive towards.
So you're saying what does that mean?
Foolish
How does one
goal.
become humanist?
It
Well,
becomes humanist.
humanism is a societal value in the game, which is opposed to spiritualism. And spiritualist countries would have it, for example, easier to
There's
convert
the
and
societal
assimilate.
values.
And
That's the
it's
first time
one
we've
of
seen
dozens
UI of it going left to right.
societal values that we have in the game. For example, you could be more innovative, or you could be more traditionalist, or you could focus your army, for example, on quantity or on quality, but you can't do both.
Can you give me an example of a major situation that would impact my societal values?
Well, there's one which will come fairly early on in the game, which is the Black Death, which will
Womp womp.
happen around like 10, 15 years after the game starts and will
Yes, please talk about
affect
the Black Death.
a majority of the globe.
What can I do to lessen the impact of the Black Death?
Well, you can try different things. You can try to build hospitals, you can maybe establish a quarantine, procure remedies, but, well, I hope you find solace in faith.
The best way to cope is book.
Embrace the afterlife.
Oh dear.
Our tour today is at an end, but it's just the start of our grandest journey yet. We'll find out whether your reign will be known as a glorious golden age or for carnage and chaos.
Is that all
will
they
you
have to
carve your
say
name into
today?
history or be a mere footnote in someone else's chapter?
Oh jeez.
In Europa Universalis 5, anything is possible. History is yours to write. One final piece of advice. Be ambitious.
Yes. Be ambitious is the tagline. Yes. It is John Universalis once more on the globe.
John Universalis. I don't know. He does kind of look like a Juan Universalis.
Juan? Yeah, that's fair. He's Juan Universalis.
Unannounced date. Give us the date.
I really thought it was gonna happen. I thought they were gonna give us one, but I guess not. And if they don't give us a date, then that means it's at least a year out for sure. Yeah. Spin.
Yep.
Wow.
Spin. It's Jover.
Wow. Oh my god. Spam. Shingo to first impression. Spam.
No date.
No
Oh,
date.
yep. And here are all the various YouTubers.
Is that what those are?
It leads to a playlist of all the YouTubers' early videos. Hey, look at this. Lord Lambert.
Sigh.
Wow, I wonder if one of these is gonna have more views than the others.
I fucking hate Louis, man. I played EU5 Byzantium for 200 hours. In the Roman Empire.
Whoa! 6 minutes already, 1.4k views. Look at his lip. Look at his lip, dudes.
I'm even gonna click that one.
I think I'm gonna click on everyone except that one, to be honest. I think I'm gonna watch literally any other one. There's a lot of stuff to watch other than that.
Yo, Absolute Habibi is one of them. Cool.
Unironically, yeah, he's annoying, but not in the same way.
Mm.
Will Ludi cheat again? I mean,
That's true.
of
Ludi
course.
probably did cheat in his video.
He's got to get the content out, and you gotta do what you gotta do.
So anyways, Ike wasn't able to annex them all in one war, so I decided that for the sake of the video, I would just console command to annex them.
Unironically, generalist gameplay with his economics focus as Korea that's high on my list for sure. That is for sure high on my list. I don't know. I honestly don't know what. Oh yeah. There is the Lambert one. It's just only 63 views. Yeah.
This is so sad.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd actually want to do in regards to these videos, because I don't think that I'm just gonna like go through all of these videos on this stream, because that's a lot of fucking videos, but I want to cover a lot of them in one way or another. I'm just not sure how. Why did I not get an early copy? Because I got 1.6k subscribers.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Despair.
See, everyone make sure you tell your friends and family to like, comment, and subscribe so that we can get Joffrey some early access to some of
And
the
click
DLC.
the bell button.
Yeah.
Ring that fucking bell. Ring that fucking bell.
Put all notifications to all, obviously.
Notifications to all. If you don't click the bell, it doesn't really work. YouTube.
You'll get a cookie.
I have found out. Apparently, here's the analytics. 200% of my viewers are not subscribed. This is an outrage.
Now, unfortunately, Evie, we
There were
cannot
24
watch these
people in
on
the stream.
stream. That is a breach of copyright.
Wait, what?
What reaction YouTubers do that all the time, Dark? What do you
10
mean?
people are not.
You know what? All right. Bring it on stream and do the full-on react. Just do don't have no
Jesus.
commentary, no commentary, just face. And at some point, you have to leave and give chair react while you go to the restroom or get some food.
Oh my goodness.
Well, hang on. No, he also has to say, that's crazy, or
Yeah,
make
that's
a really
crazy.
dumb
Crazy.
joke.
That's crazy.
Wow! Well, I'm
Say-
stuffing my face.
Say, bro's really playing EU5 or something
Bro's
like that.
really playing EU5. True.
It
Bro-
is
bro
so
really moving his
EU5
eyes.
right now.
Bro is clicking his provinces. So yeah.
Yeah, coming soon. Oh wow. City of Rome. Oh yeah. There's all the image. Oh, there's
Alright.
the terrain, and it looks mostly the same.
I didn't like that screenshot because there's too many fucking cities. It feels like there's no room between them.
Presumably yeah.
But then in later screenshots, it doesn't look like that.
This is what I suspected would be the case, where cities and towns show up on the map, but tiles that don't have any such thing don't show up unless they have a fort or a port. But I mean, yeah, there's Andorra. Like I assume Andorra is just going to look like a piece of mountainside because there's no town or city in that area. But yeah, the city of Rome.
I mean, you can see Andorra.
Yeah, but you can't see like the buildings.
Why not?
Laborers available -700. Burgers available.
Yeah, that means they have too many jobs.
There's
like open jobs. And not enough
zero
people to fill.
peasants. Like there's negative peasants in Rome as well.
They're busy.
This is a fun.
They're leaving. Why wouldn't they leave? It's Rome.
Yeah.
County now has a subject regency.
I do like France. Pretty.
Vive la France.
Oh yeah, that's right. People were saying there was a cyclone off the coast of Japan. Yeah, and it's the Ashikaga shogunate. Eh?
The divine wind.
Kamikaze.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's rather appropriate. I love all the tiny shit stacks of samurai from the various daimyo building based countries. I can't wait to be playing as Japan and just watch them all throw hands with like 100 dudes while I'm the adult in the room building. The UI is quite good. What, you don't know why everyone's against it? I don't know either. I personally let's you got all your tabs up in this corner in this nice box. Nobles, clergy, burghers and commoners estates here. There's not much room for an extra one, so that's going to be a little tedious when it comes to modding. There's no room to fit an extra estate up in here, so you need to change.
Just get rid of commoner.
Just get rid of the commoner.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
They've eliminated homelessness.
People are gone.
I think you will like the 10th screenshot.
There's the dudes walking along. I like the army movement there. That's pretty neat.
That's fun.
Holland mentioned.
Golden dog.
Golden dog. Do any of them have golden dogs?
Nah,
they don't have golden dogs. This is sad.
No, because the game's shit.
Shit game. No golden dog militia models.
That'll wait for the Holland DLC. That'll come out surely.
The Holland flavor pack, you mean?
Yes. Well, no, they'd get a core expansion if we're going by the CK3 thing. Something on the level of Roads to Power.
100 Years War. Diplomatic actions.
That's
The third phase of
Zelensky.
100 Years War. Declare war on England. Negotiate a peace. Find new allies. Yeah. So there is a situation for the 100 Years War. That's really neat. Huh.
I wonder if those
once again.
Did they say that they can like do these naturally, or is it only ones that are set up by events?
You mean situations? Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. There's some that are natural and most that are caused by specific scripted situations. Actually, wait. I don't know about no. I'm thinking about international organizations that are those are dynamic to a degree, but I don't know about situations being dynamic. I kind of doubt that, but I don't know for sure.
I know, but I kind of wish that they made it so you can have a hyper war between two countries that really wouldn't have interacted until the game started.
Well, that's this is specifically because the 100 Years' War is like it's like the equivalent of the Cold War, where it flares up and stops.
I know.
So it's not just one specific
I know.
war.
I know that.
So that
But
wouldn't really work for
that's sort of
dynamic
what I meant. Hundreds of years of war and or ceasefires.
Never.
I don't think
Nah,
that would really work
damn,
from a
that'd be
dynamic
too-
standpoint.
That'd be too interesting.
That's
I just
not
don't.
exactly
I just don't
easy
think that
to
would
do.
work. I don't think that that's.
I
something
know,
you could
I
do.
know.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I know that it's not
Unacceptable.
realistic.
No.
Damn.
You're not allowed to make jokes like that.
Are you guys the only ones who are allowed to speculate about unfeasible stuff?
Yes.
You see, Cairo, we are not
Damn.
on Tinto Talks, ever we can't talk, actually.
Despair.
Kyra, did you get 90 likes on
Reputation
Reddit?
plus 6.2.
You
6.2
wound me,
whole
Nemcraft.
extra
You thi-
diplo rep because of improving our improving diplomatic reputation.
Looking at that stability, you can see Byzantium is doing really well right now.
Yeah, I mean, okay,
Yeah.
what if there's a just a cabinet action called improve stability?
Yeah,
Wait,
also
is
look
there
at
that income?
look
It's
at their
amazing.
manpower too. It's also
Is there an
quite good.
icon that is just the Turkish crescent? Right? On
That's
the
like
situation tab?
probably an Islamic thing.
Oh, well,
That's not
isn't
a
that not
situation tab. That's a notification.
same thing? But
Very different.
Age
No,
of
you see, this is the banner of the Turks and medieval tools. Therefore, it's the Turks invading.
yeah,
This is the
exactly. It's not,
dawning. This is the dawning of the Age of Discovery. I assume that this isn't actually the dawning of the Age of Discovery, because it would be a little strange for the Age of Discovery to start with England owning all of Florida and Castile having a bunch of Cuba. It would be a
To be
little
fair, it is
odd.
1517.
But then why is the Age of Discovery just now happening? Don't you
So
need?
it
Maybe
probably
talk about it,
references
maybe
more
they
like the
colonized
mass
before?
colonizations and not just fucking Columbus crossing water.
Yeah, but how is the Age of Discovery just now happening if they own all this land?
Don't worry about it, man.
You can't.
Don't worry about it.
You can't
Alright,
start. You can't start colonizing
You see-
overseas unless you can't start colonizing and exploring overseas unless you have the New World Institution.
So there is this really cool thing. It's called a console command.
Uh-huh.
I don't believe you. That's a lie.
You can use it to trigger events or colonizations that normally would not be able to be triggered at the moment.
No. No, 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 no. No.
What do you mean, no?
Can't wait for the Restoring Rome before 1400s in EU5 videos. I mean,
I
That's-
restored Rome by 1350 as
That-
Byzantium in
that-
Europa Universalis 5.
that's probably what Ludi's going
As
for.
Mantua.
Ludi already did it. I watched his video. I mean,
Yeah?
he restored the
We
instant
don't
Roman
support-
Empire pretty quick.
We don't support Ludi in the advocacy in this server.
No. Get out of here, Frank. Get out. We don't want you anymore.
I'm not advocating. I'm not
No,
advocating.
you
I'm
said
just
something
saying.
about him, therefore you're advocating. Shame.
You said-
shame.
Yeah, you
Burn
said
the
something about
Okay.
him that wasn't insulting, so bad.
Oh my
Look
god.
Yeah,
In this
dude,
image-
Blazing is crazy. Damn.
In this image, there's Aragonese colonies. Aragon is colonized in Hispaniola. That's great.
Well, no, that's Cuba. That's Cuba, first of all. No, please don't do this to me.
Hispaniola.
Hispaniola is the Dominican Republic island.
Oh,
yes.
whatever. Same thing.
Hispaniola's the name for the big.
Oh,
Y-
well, of
you know
course,
what?
It's the same.
The name of the island
It's
is
all-
Cuba.
Oh,
Paradox
it's all
there.
colonial
Why not?
Caribbean in EU4, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Wait, but what does Hispaniola even mean?
It's like New Spain, pretty much, but it's technically like, Big Spain, Hispaniola, because technically the Spanish find it first. That's like quarter of a mean.
So Hot Pocket. This. So yeah. It's the menu for the Age of Discovery. Yes, but it says this is the dawning of the Age of Discovery.
Yeah, and it's letting you pick your focus, which I assume you can't change.
This person is about to pick, which focus, which is also interesting because we have not seen any of the focuses, the focus options for things other than the Age of Renaissance. So, Diplo ones, you get Quest for the New World, Overseas Exploration, Colonial Ventures, Exploration Ideas, Vetting, Admin, you get Faster Colonies, Dynamic Court, Visionary, efficient
Oak
minting.
forests for ships.
But also look at this again. Looking at the Age of Discovery, though, if you look at the map, it's only 1517, and let's say the game it's hard luck to colonizing by 1492, which is when historically it happened. Not saying that it will probably happen around that, because EU4 yourself, you can be colonizing the Americans in 1460s. So if you look at it though, that's pretty fucking quick for 1517 though.
For how much they own,
That's a lot.
What's the known world?
That's a lot of land,
Yeah,
especially considering that the map it's bigger than EU4.
England
The thing
owns
is we don't know
all of Florida.
if that's the result of actual gameplay.
I assume this is.
What's
but
the
I
known?
Don't know. Sorry. Sorry, Kyra.
What's the known world percentage? I haven't kept up to date on the colonial aspect.
Oh, where are you seeing
How much of the world
up in,
you
under expansion?
discovered?
No
How much of the world
world.
you've seen?
That's actually pretty neat. I didn't see that
Oh,
before.
but why? Oh, it's under geopolitics in general. I thought that was looking at a specific spot, and
No,
I was wondering if that was like a market access thing.
That's just
No,
you
that's just
yourself.
how much you see.
That's just you yourself and how much you
Okay.
know of the world. Yeah.
Wait, hold up. Preparing for an exploration to Arkansas. Okay.
Oh damn!
Arcan.
They
Yep.
going
And Maryland.
And exploring the East James Bay.
But hey,
that makes
look at
more
those names
sense.
too.
That's what I would
Would that
expect.
be automatically named? Look at that also, Joffrey. Like, look at the name, like, of the places they're going.
Yeah.
Like, for example, what the hell is Arkansas for fucking 1,500 English people? They wouldn't know that. So I'm guessing,
Dude,
like,
what else
this is
do you call
automatically free name.
Well, so
Didn't
that's
they
the,
name it after the local tribes
If-
there? Like
so-
that's
so-
that
if they
doesn't
name all,
change.
if they name Alberta the Native American name, why name Arkansas? Oh well, Arkansas was the
Well,
name.
they didn't name Alberta the Native American name. They named Alberta the name of the province. That's one province over that uses a Native American name in current day. So these names, these are the specifically the area names because you explore by area, which is the equivalent of states in EU4. So some of the ones, specifically the ones on the East Coast, a lot of the times are using the American names for those areas. But as you go western, they stop doing that as much. But the actual tiles themselves, the locations, do not use the modern names and instead have dynamic ones. Is the point? Because they can't make areas have dynamic names, I suppose. I would like it if there was a system for having the name of an area be dynamic based on who owns the majority of it. That could be neat, but
That could be really neat.
but I really
I
think.
actually also wonder.
Sorry?
I'm sorry. No, go ahead. I was gonna say something about colonization, but you go ahead.
Oh, and I was gonna say that I really think that a lot of the time the military option for a focus in a given era is not going to be the best one, but that's just me personally because I like Diplo stuff so much. So I genuinely think that these are going to be pretty, like every era for like a given era. I think that the different focuses are going to be pretty even. I think you're generally going to have to really consider a lot of the time. But yeah, go ahead about colonization. What were you going to say?
So one last point before we move out of colonization is that, like, talking about it like age-wise, now I'm thinking again, sure, colonization happened pretty quick for, let's say, the Spanish Empire, 1492, let's say, into 1535, if you want to look at it historically. The Spanish went from owning, like, little islands in the Caribbean to literally owning all the way down to Peru.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how what's the name of this? Expansive will it be? Not expensive, but expansive. How fast would you be able to colonize, let's say, any per se nation coming into into this colonizing race? And if there will be like historical mechanics to make it faster, depending on how it happened historically. Because again, seeing that England owns all of Florida by 1517 tells me that maybe there is no historical accuracy some moving it up, but instead game mechanics that says, well, colonization will be fast for everyone instead of one set nation being fast, which then means England would just be super strong.
I
See,
suspect.
you look at it
America,
from that
the way
point.
I was thinking about it, at least, is that for Spain, you don't really have to do that much colonizing because, for example, when you go to Mexico, there's already a bunch of tribes there that you can just conquer, right? You don't spend all that time colonizing it. Same thing with the Inca. You go down there and you just conquer it.
The reason he's saying that this is curious, though, is because England here controls all of Florida and then some. We can't even see how far up the East Coast
Well,
it
yeah.
goes.
The
So
reason
that is
why
very
I think that
odd.
is, yeah, let me finish. The reason why I think that they will be able to get all of that is they probably just conquered other people's colonies along with their own.
I highly well now if they're conquering someone else's colonies, that means someone else has colonized it. Someone's colonized it. The point is, regardless of who's done it, someone by 1517 has been able to settle the whole coast of Florida and then some, and that's very curious. Because it's hey, who knows what's going on with that? But it's a little odd.
Well, see, I'm
is
not
the point.
surprised about Florida specifically because remember, didn't they say you can colonize entire areas at a time?
Moving on. Showing Korea, which again, yeah, one of the first ones I'm gonna want to look at video wise is definitely gonna be Generalist's video talking about Korea because that's gonna be big economic focus, and I'm very curious what he has to say about that. Centralization. Hello, Snowy. Hello. Bald attracts bald. It do though. It do. The
This one has a lot fewer cities though. It's not nearly as crammed as Rome.
Yes. Italy is insanely dense when it comes to cities and towns. Yeah. But yeah, we're seeing Korea's in the government tab their societal values, which is very curious. They're very belligerent, surprisingly enough. Also very
I didn't know
heavy
Korea
traditional
was
economy,
decentralized.
and
I thought it was the opposite.
I mean, they kind of have to be. They're bordering the Manchu.
Holy
which are very
shit!
warlike as well.
Look at the bottom one.
Unsynicized.
Yeah. Synicized versus unsynicized is a societal value. What the hell?
I like that a lot, actually. See, I thought they would have been synicized, though.
That's wild. It's one specific thing
What?
for how cynicized you are. So like, presumably this goes like the other way if you conquer into China.
I'd assume so.
Probably embracing Chinese values.
Yeah, so like if China is Confucian and you're also Confucian, then yes, you would be more cynicized.
Like Yuan
I'd assume the
presumably
yuan
is incredibly
is the same
cynicized.
Yeah, I imagine you don't have to become cynicized if you conquer China, but owning China will probably make you cynicized, or at least push you towards it.
It's probably gonna
And you
be
have to
pretty
fight
difficult to not have it happen, but I that's curious to me that there's theoretically a way to not have it happen.
Maybe that's a struggle of conquering China, as besides conquering China.
The fact that it cynicizes
Yeah,
you,
maybe like
yeah.
if you're Yuan and maybe if you're Yuan and you're not as cynicized as people want you to be, that causes more unrest.
The Mongols rule China
purely-
still, and as you put it, they're not very cynicized. But I think they are because they had adapted. They're Mongols, but they had adapted a lot of the traditions of Chinese courtly life. Despite that,
They still have the Mongol culture, though.
Yeah, but that's the way that they represent it, with the fact that they're still Mongols, but their realm is very cynicized. Despite that, which makes a lot of sense to me.
By this point, they should be very cynicized, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Earthquake in Constantinople.
Wow, a year passed and they went from -20 something to -71.
This historic event, by the way.
With the canon option is there's nothing we can do. There is nothing we can do.
I love that they actually use the meme. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think
I can't use the sound button.
I don't think the Byzantines are doing so well.
Why not?
Really?
No more. Hey, at least there's no more comments. At least it's an actual earthquake now.
It's not a comet. That's giving you minus tab. It's an earthquake that ruins everything. Yeah.
No, this is historic, Hot Pocket. You can tell it's historic because there's a historic option they chose.
Yeah.
The book means that's the historic.
There are going to be dynamic natural disasters, but this is a historic one. The historic one that happened immediately. It's still in the age of traditions. They still got 9 years before Renaissance starts.
They're at minus 71 and they haven't clicked either of the options for the event, meaning it's going to get even worse.
Have fun playing the Byzantines. There was a reason Ottomans conquered all of this.
Here comes the 10th one that you said I would like. Yes! Yes, I do like this exactly. You were very right. Oh,
that's a lot of numbers.
Oh my fucking
329 members. You know what this means we gotta do, Dark? We need 660 members of the Concord.
True, double it. More than double.
Double it. Double it. Double it
Double
plus
and
one.
pass it to the next person.
I was about to say that.
Sorry, what?
Double it and give it to the next person.
Oh yeah. Pass it off to the next mod team. All right.
Do you want $5 or do you want to double it and give it to the next person?
It's going to be so possible to make such a higher number. That look how many of these countries are small, but not OPMs yet, or ulms rather. They're not ulms. You could chop these up. Yeah, our mods would be able to have just little dudes all everywhere. It's gonna be great. 16 times the size. How will it run in MP though? It probably won't. At least now. But the game's not out yet, so we'll have to see.
Performance will be ass in MPs. Even on release, I think.
The colony. So is this the new colonial subject thing? Yeah, because every time you finish a colony, you can make it into a subject. The charter we founded to colonize Magadan has now fulfilled its role, and it has become a fully functioning colony. Now we need to decide how we wish to handle this territory. Form a new colonial subject, form a new colonial subject and play as it, or keep it as a part of Goryeo for now. So this includes, for Korea, where is Magadan? Where is Korea colonizing that this is happening?
I think this is talking about either Philippines or something. Let me search it up.
I think this is the northeastern step, northeastern Siberia.
Actually, yeah, he's right. It's Russia.
Oh, well, that's very curious. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
You can set up a bunch of colonial administrations in Siberia. I unironically am going to do that because...
Interesting though. Look at the flag right next to the actual Korean thingy. Is that Ashikaga?
Huh? What?
Where?
So you see that you're no. You're the kingdom of Goryeo. But look at the other flag and look at the map as well. Is that Ashikaga? So you're right.
That
Goryeo is Korea.
This here.
Mm-hmm. That looks like conquered territory.
Yeah, and there's some swords and shields. What is happening here?
Are they at war? I would assume they're at war with Ashikaga.
This is 1471. This could be the invasion of the Japanese invasion. Actually,
Japan conquering Korea. The Koreans escaped to Siberia. Form a new colonial subject and play as it. Look at me out of here.
With these colonies, would you need to get this event every time you colonize? So, would you be able to form a new subject for every individual colony in a region?
Yes, you can do that. Every single area that you colonize, because every area is how you colonize stuff by, as you mentioned them. Every single area can be its own colonial nation. Yeah.
I think that's actually pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I mean that's how the 13 colonies came to be. That's how Canada came to be a lot of the time too. I mean, a lot of it was just lumped into the HBC, but whatever.
And the reason why I think that's amazing is because it's actually not Europe-centric. And a lot of people will disagree with me because the name of the game, what is the name of the game? What is the thing that everyone's going to say?
That's what they mean.
There is a list.
Yeah,
so the reason why I think that's not Europe-centric is because imagine playing as an Asian nation and making a colony in Europe.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
That would be amazing.
You can technically do that if you because they've said, yeah, if Yuan could see Europe at game start, they could colonize like even France. So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
Which is based.
yeah, it's really cool to me. I'm willing to bet that that if England had a land border with Ireland, that they could colonize the Irish
I would,
tribes.
but Joffrey, they're already doing that.
Yeah,
That's why you have
literally,
those
that's
like
the point.
Anglo-Irish or Anglo-Scots.
That's why it's so cool because there's a lot of tribal Irish dudes, so they probably have zero power projection basically, and England will have a lot more. So England, if they exert their control over that, they might be able to colonize it, which is really funny to imagine because then they could theoretically set up a colonial administration in Ireland, which again
And at the
they
same
technically
time,
already
Norway
have.
and Sweden are colonizing the Sami.
Yeah, yeah. Because the funny thing, remember the Pale tag, the tag of Pale for Dublin, is actually English culture. It's not even Anglo-Irish. But continuing along, what else do we got here? Cultures, yes, scrumptious. Cultures in the Crown of Castile. 3.8 million. This is the beginning of the game. Australianese, yeah, I forgot that's its own culture. And
There's quite few Andalusians I'm seeing here.
that's a that's a lot less Andalusi than I thought.
Because they lowered the amount
Maybe
from
they were
last time.
forcibly migrated to.
This is game
Granada?
start. This is 10 days after game start. They shown before a lot of different, like a lot of places that have large minorities of Andalusi, so I'm not sure why they're so small.
Maybe they're balancing it.
Maybe they're changing it around, yeah. I don't know. But one thing that's funny, you notice, look at all the knights. You have the knights of I think that's Santiago. Is this
That's Calatrava, I think.
that which one's Santiago though? Because these two I think are Santiago and Calatrava. No, wait, the green one's Calatrava. I think Calatrava is the green one. Or in any case, you see a bunch of small stacks of
Santiago
knights,
is...
which is cool.
Let's see.
Which screenshot is this?
Yeah, no, you were right. The first one you thought of was Santiago, yeah.
Yay!
By the way, the screenshot is no longer in the Steam page because if you look at this is the most important screenshot of all of them. It has the thingy, the search Windows bar in the Photoshop. Actually, you're seeing the old post for the Europa Universalis 5. This one is no longer in Steam.
Out?
Yeah, I've copied it. Take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot of this.
Oh,
Bro, I noticed this right away.
I'm gonna just take that real quick.
This is the real information that we need.
Yo, he's a coward though. He
He
doesn't
took it
have his
out.
time. He doesn't have his time listed. What the hell? Bro, how are you supposed to keep track of the time if it doesn't say it at the bottom of your screen?
So now we have an also official picture of the logo of EU5. Look at it.
Yeah. So that because that was the logo that was leaked as well.
There you go.
London market, Dublin, Inverness has its own market now. Damn.
To be fair, it's 1471.
Oh, good catch. Look at Bruges market. This is so shitty. Just to end that market at this point. That's useless. Jeez.
what do you mean it's a good?
Yo.
Also, Bordeaux is
Cologne
back in
for
the hands of
market.
France. So yeah.
So I didn't read the Tintel talks about markets. So can you make your market larger?
Yep.
Like
Yes.
it's not
Depends on your
it's-
influence.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
They're
Okay, that's
completely
good.
dynamic. You can make new ones. You can delete old ones. You can attract people to yours. In fact, you would prefer to, with the London market, get the rest of the British Isles in this specific market and have good access to it.
Mhm.
But the problem is
Somehow-
early game that's going to be very difficult because you can see it starts to gray out as you go more north, and that means that it's more easy for the other markets to attract it. So you see some of the Dublin market in Ayrshire up there, for example. And also this includes sea tiles because any goods that are traded overseas through a different market that has to go through that market then. So something from Oslo, there is no market just in the North Sea itself here. But if someone wants to trade goods from Oslo down to Bordeaux, that trade good needs to go through the London market because the London market owns the sea along the way. So the goods there will have to stop by London, and their prices will be increased, and you will have less availability of things because because anyone in London will have first pick over using said goods over you, stuff like that. It's very, very
Venice somehow got replaced by a town in the Alps.
Cavales.
Cavales. Well, this is a certified Genoa W.
I don't know. They're kind of eating into Genoa too. They took Milan from Genoa.
What the hell? This is gross. Ew.
Rip Venice, by the way.
All I have to say is that this just sucks for Milan because as Milan you have poor market access and it's split between two markets, so you don't know what the fuck is going on.
But again, though, look, there's an end node. There's an end node.
There's no such thing as an end node. No.
Yeah, end nodes don't exist.
Okay, it looks like London is.
Thankfully.
No, so the blue I think means going in, orange means going out.
This is just
because you're looking at England. That's why.
This is England and they're clicking on the London market. It is showing everything in relation to London, showing goods that leave and come to London and where they're doing that from. So you can see that there are goods that are coming to the London market from as far afield as Iceland.
All right, yeah.
They go past
then
it,
that's
they go
cool.
through
That was confusing me.
In fact, they skip Inverness. Inverness is useless. This is a useless trade node right now. It looks like because nothing
Classic
has
I think they
to
do it on purpose to isolate it because
same
Scotland's
with
independent.
Dublin. It goes around Dublin, but it doesn't actually go to the Dublin city, meaning it doesn't actually affect it.
That's curious.
I think it's.
I assumed
no. Because you have the London market selected, it's only showing London's trades. It's not showing anyone else. You can see that trade, it just goes past Paris.
Yeah.
Also by that logic, you could see there'd be nothing from Genoa except the one trade with London. Yeah, it's just not showing you the Inverness or Dublin trades.
Well, what I mean,
the
the reason I'm saying that it's useless is not because of the volume of trades. I'm saying because stuff that is coming from the New World does not need to go through Inverness. So it can zoom around it. So a trade node here is not very useful because you can't intercept money that is coming from the New World and force London to pay
Unless you
for
take
it.
the
Is
sea
my point.
tiles, I guess.
But theoretically, Dublin is still making money because theoretically what's happening is that any money that is going past, has to stop through Dublin before it gets to London, and you have to pay Dublin market money first. That is theoretically how it works, from what I remember. Don't know for sure.
Joffrey. This makes the North Sea even more cool because if you have Norway, Scotland, England, and Iceland and Greenland, you just occupy that entire zone. Then the entire market will just be covered.
Yeah. So that means that any wealth coming from the New World from the north will have to go through you, and people will have to pay a premium.
It's beautiful
on trading through you. Same.
Wouldn't Inverness be able to take the sea tiles, which the English trades flows through?
They
currently
they can't take more because sea trade sea tiles are only that are added to trade zones are only adjacent to the coast.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so they would have to actively try to take the English coast. Okay.
Or the Irish coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would need to make their market more attractive and try to get more stuff in the that would get in the way of England, which is a problem because they don't have a good enough navy for that realistically. Most likely what would happen is that London would in fact take more of Inverness's trade. Moving along. Chieftain Opaimiko, the warrior of Ogichi. Huh?
Africa.
Glorious.
I love how
it
they have
looks
an
like a native.
interaction that's very lowborn.
Just looking at his hairstyle, his clothes, he looks like a native.
His name and just everything about him.
Yeah,
looks
native.
Ogeechee Rivers in Georgia, US.
Religion ceremonial based. Shamanism is gone. Long live ceremonial.
Hey yo, ceremonial is the best religion. I'm sure this is not a
Yo,
placeholder
Mary
and will never
Lowborn.
change.
Yeah, South Carolina.
Spouses
Appointed
too.
general.
Huh? Spouses too? Children
This is
what?
cool.
Huh.
This is cool.
They I guess they've got more granularity for the number of potential spouses a character can have. Also, of course, you get your little stack of dudes. Your 600 guys is represented by this little lump of lads hanging out in the woods. This is a very pretty map. It of course looks very similar to the other stuff, but that's not too surprising. But I can work with this.
I was just gonna say what do you think what do you call it? The Appointed Explorer one is grayed out. What do you think you need to do to actually use it?
Good question.
I don't know.
When
But I'm kind of
when there is a way to do it right now.
the thing that I'm
assume
really
there was-
curious about is the fact that this guy is someone that you are playing as, because I don't know this tag. I don't know this tribe of Yamasi tag.
It's apparently in
It's in the
South
US.
Carolina.
Not in the US.
But that's not
It's
a
in
place
Georgia,
where
not in
there's any
Georgia.
landed tags.
Okay. Maybe
Well, I think they're gonna pop up as time
Maybe as
passes.
spawnables?
maybe I missed one of you guys saying this, but the country has a population of what looks like 500 or so, and has an
Where's-
army of 600.
Where's the population?
Right of stability.
No, that's manpower.
I see. Yeah, 559.
No, wait, that's manpower.
population.
You're right. That is a
Yeah,
population.
if you look at like Castile, it shows 6 million.
Are we able to
So
play
half the
as?
army is the population's half the army.
There's no way that they've actually
have-
figured out how to let us play as the little
Societies of
dudes.
Pops?
Societies of Pops. Yeah. There's no way that they're like. There's no way that we're able to play as sops. But
The
that's what
reason
this
why
looks
there's
like.
600 troops. There's only 459,
Well,
but
if
remember,
you actually look at it,
41 dogs.
Chieftain of the Warrior Chieftain of Pamiko, the Warrior. Oh no, I read this wrong. No, never mind then. I was about to say this is the Warrior tribe or something, but no, it's actually his name.
ABCs can hold land, yeah, but this isn't a thing that exists at game start, so maybe it's 15-17, so maybe they're debating us with this, and it's not someone that you can play, because they're a sop, but maybe they became settled by 15-17.
That could be it.
And they've just tag
Would make
switched to this dude, which would really suck, but at the
I
same
just
time,
don't
I
like-
certainly hope that by 15-17, they would have accomplished more than having 559 population.
Wait, Dark. I have an idea. What if the reason why it's 559 is because that's not including the army? That's just the population, like, that's in the land.
Damn, bro, more than half their pops are soldiers.
That makes more sense, right?
Yes, that is almost certainly what that means, yeah. Stab is down, losing money. Is there anything that shows plague implication? Like, okay, this here probably means plagues. In fact, fuck, I remember that symbol. That's the symbol for the Great Dying. Yeah.
Yeah.
90% of the population dead. That's why they're
Yeah,
so low.
that explains
There
why
you
their
go.
stab's so bad and why they only have 559 people, because they're all dropping.
Honestly, the step's pretty good considering that most of the people died.
Yeah, they're only at minus 31 stability when total societal collapse just happened and everyone you know and love is dead within a 5-mile radius.
Like the
yeah.
Byzantines have one earthquake and get to a bigger malice.
Don't worry about it.
You know what, Nathaniel? That's a good point. The army is probably only this size because they raised it before the societal collapse happened. As soon as they lower this army, they're going to
Wait.
be able to only recruit like 100 dudes now at best.
Joffrey, that's the meta. That's how you survive the Great Dying.
You just
They got
raise
lost
your
in the
levies.
forest before
Wait,
they
but you
could
can't
get
raise your
infected.
levies unless you're. Oh, maybe army-based countries can though. So if this is an army-based country because they've become settled, then that would make sense because army-based countries can raise their army at any time.
Hmm. Will Prussia be an army-based country though?
No.
Hmm.
Wow, that is a big city sprawl model. Whoo!
Cairo is humongous. It's ridiculous.
Humongous. Same as Alexandria.
Hmm.
Humongous. Mungus bungus.
What is Lower Egypt? Oh, yes, never mind.
What is Lower
The
Egypt?
60,000.
It's this.
Yeah, I just forgot. I remember now.
Because it's low down the river. Well,
That's Upper Egypt. Compared to
68% Lower Egyptian, 27% Coptic, and there's a 5,000 Circassians. I wonder what those Circassians are doing here. Huh?
Don't worry about it.
Damn. Do you think they're
probably not?
Oh, what's this?
What is this? Some kind of Mamluk
Check
sultanate?
the amount of nobles. Check
Yo.
the amount of nobles.
What's
That's
that?
pretty-
Yo, 4,000 nobles, 5,000 Circassians. Coincidence? I think not. No, they're probably all slaves. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, they got 3% Jews. Oh, there's actually 17,000, in fact, Jews in Cairo itself. That is quite the religious mosaic for this city, but that is largely
Yes.
due to the Copts. So as the Copts get converted, then that will cease being the case.
Also, Joffrey, look at the Alexandria name.
Yeah, Alescandaria.
Alexandria. That's just the Arabic for
That's-
Alexandria.
Makes sense. Massive exodus of peasants as well from minus 3.8 to migration attraction.
You can guess why, I guess.
589,000 in a single city. I don't. Doesn't Paris have in the millions right now?
No. Paris was like 400K, I think.
Oh. I thought France.
Paris is not yet
Paris
the
had, like
biggest
a million
city in the
dudes. Okay.
Not yet.
For 1337, yeah, this is crazy. Then yes.
Yeah, first you're gonna have to wait out Black Death and then regrow. Although I'm pretty sure Cairo gets hit by the Black Death too, so
Not many people won't be. Yeah.
I mean, India and
Genoa.
China aren't. Did you say Genoa?
I thought Genoa avoided the Black Death.
No, that was Milan.
No. They
Milan,
were
yeah,
one
mixed
of the
them up.
spot.
Genoa.
They spread it
yeah.
the most. Them
Yeah,
and
no.
Venice spread the most.
Yeah, Milan was the one that mostly got spared from it, and that's
Oh.
not because they didn't get the disease. It's because they fucking bricked up the houses of the people that got it, so they couldn't spread it.
Okay.
Look
We're
at this.
incredibly
Black
draconian
Death
about it.
spreads. What can we do? It's so over, Euro bros. What can we do? Black Death spreads.
Staying alive.
Yo, Dark. Look at Milan. What's that? What's that?
Like I said, it
that?
didn't not spread to Milan. It's just they made it where it didn't
Oh
actually
wait, if you look,
develop in the
what
city
are the
very much.
stars on the map? What are the stars on the map actually?
Capitals of the bigger countries, I believe.
Sicily is a country?
Yeah.
It's a subject of Aragon.
Oh
It's-
yes.
it's a PU. Yeah, makes
That's
sense.
right.
But yeah, okay, it makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, would say
capitals
they
of
have, like,
relevant
epicenters.
countries, I
It's a
suppose.
plague.
Maybe? Question mark? I don't know. Because... whatever.
Estimation the Pope is not relevant.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this. Yeah, I'm as confused as you. But the diseases for like 4 million and then 3.6. Is this like people infected with it?
It's infected, I guess. Yeah.
So
And
like the number
the
of people
upper number
infected
is
is
about
going
the people
down?
infected, and the lower one is the still infected, like that are still alive. Because 100,000 died, and then there is 400,000 less in the lower number.
So the point is
I
that this
think
is going to go up and down a lot, I guess.
So what I think that is, I think that's your population. It takes your starting population with your lowest population during the Black Death, and it goes back up because normal birth rates and whatnot. But obviously
you're
not
Hungary.
nearly as high.
Yeah.
As...
Yeah, you're right.
Yes,
You
makes
see
sense.
what
If you look at the population you have
pops,
right now, up in the upper tab.
Mm-hmm. The killer of mankind,
So, yeah.
the punishment for our sins has
bottom
arrived
of the
inside our
graph.
country. What can we do other
Yep.
than pray? What can we do? Present in one owned locations. Okay.
Hey, invent antibiotics. That's what you can do.
Sounds like a great idea.
All you need to do is get some mold on some rye bread, and you'll be
Wait, Joffrey, can you go back?
well on the way.
Yo, it's
There's
Mapajahit.
something. Can you go back?
What?
Mapajahit?
Look at the bottom right. Minor tribes expel their sick.
The minor tribe of boat leaders expel their sick. The minor bailiwick of some K something expel leaders expel their sick. Yeah, yeah. So these are actions you can take. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're just
good
spreading
catch.
it even farther.
There's just no you can't see the options on here for some reason because this isn't the situation window. This is just the disease window. You need to see the separate window that talks about the diseases, or that is like the Black Death situation. But here is Mapajahit.
They
have
actually rule the Western Island as well.
They don't have the Maria Lowborn option.
Parts of Brunei.
Presumably those are subjects, though.
Mm.
I think it's just showing the name over subjects because they're a different color. I don't know for sure, though. Damn, there's a lot of small tags. So many little dudes.
I mean, it makes sense.
She's really good.
The father's still alive?
What
the parents are still alive.
I don't think so. That's grayed out.
Is it?
As opposed to this image, that's grayed. See.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But the queen here, yeah, 80, 70, 80. That is stupid. Them stupid numbers. Yikes. She must be a very important historical character. Japanese. Yeah. Her mother's still alive, though. But apparently someone ain't happy in her country. There's a lot... exclamation mark pops. Exclamation mark. Just unhappy estates. Generals. Buildings. War. I think. War. We have taken a loan. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It says we've taken a loan. That's not good. Wait, we've taken a loan and they've still got 26. Oh no, that's only 26. That's 26.64, not like in the thousands. Yeah. One of the YouTubers played as Greenland going into America. Nah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the student. Okay. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. I don't know. See, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch some of these, and I'll have to just make my reactions in a separate video discussing them when I explaining the what interesting things have been shown. Mind you, I doubt that as many people will care now that there's the actual videos exist about what I have to say, but I'm still going to say it regardless of who listens.
I just realized this banner on the video thumbnail. Isn't that the main banner from Victoria 2?
John Mayen?
Don't you know? The island? In the north?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care either. Whatever. It's a bear. Maybe they just took it and they're like, yeah, we'll give that to Greenland. Whatever.
Hmm.
John Mayen's not on the map, so may as well be a cheeky reference. Wait, Milan has contested an alliance with Aquileia? I don't know. But
Cemented, I think.
13th, how do they see this? They probably can't.
I don't.
But
Because there's. Oh no, they're not Islamic. They're Majapai. I don't know how they can.
yeah, they're Hindu. They shouldn't see Italy.
Probably
I just
because
just get the world announcements. I
the
don't know.
person who took maybe the person who took the screenshot like used the console and reviewed the whole map.
Maybe. Yo, it's the dudes. Look at the dudes.
Yo,
Oh, Morocco.
Morocco versus.
Wait, where the hell is this? What the?
This is Turtusa. This is North Africa.
Why? So they're just looking at it from the side, so that we
I
can see
think
the
so, yeah.
troops fighting at this angle. That's what's going on, I guess. This is in Spain?
Is it?
I don't know. State in Moroccan New Catalonia. Is this in the New World? Nah. New Catalonia is in
Oh my
Spain.
god, it
I mean,
is.
it is 1636.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they are reconquisting, which is going to be very
I just didn't
possible
know
in this
Morocco
game.
could colonize.
The reconquista is going to be very possible in this because Morocco has some early game content that goes stupid hard, where that will help them unite North Africa.
Gentlemen.
Well,
I
well
was
we know,
sent a lot of screenshots.
it's American Pope, but we're talking
Oh,
about EU5.
Okay.
Yes.
Fort level 2. Huh. So they have a fort level that's level 2 despite it not being their capital. But there's a star, so maybe they moved their capital here? I don't know. But yeah, in the battle, so who's the sides are pretty equal in numbers, but the Moroccans appear, well, okay, the Moroccans on the Moroccan left flank, they've definitely been, whatever units they've got here are definitely out hitting the soldiers of King Hoog. Because despite there being more opposing forces, their morale has been dropping very quickly, but they've still each got 100 men to engage left, so who knows? But all across the board, the morale is dropping quick. So I suspect what's happened here is that the Moroccans have a bunch of cavalry, while the Iberians do not have cav. And so the Moroccan cavalry... No, wait, no, neither of these have... These are all infantry models. So they couldn't have been
I'm
that
pretty sure
Moroccan...
because of the fort. They've got a defensive advantage.
Maybe it has to do with the fort. More screenshots on Reddit? But this is all the images here. Oh. Time to spend all day watching videos. Maybe. It may be time to end. It may be time to end this stream, though. I don't, because I'm not going to be watching all those videos on live stream with you all. I might watch those some of those in Discord with people, but not on YouTube. I will have to make some, but as I said, I'll have to make some reaction stuff to those later on, where I'll explain my thoughts on what has been shown as I'll like skim through the video. You know, I'll probably like the Iceland one. I'll see what he's doing, and I'll skip to some crucial points of it. Reddit has EU4 screenshots. You mean EU5 screenshots? I don't want to go on Reddit though. I don't like Reddit. I'll just end this here. We've done enough looking through screenshots for now. So, thank you all for coming to this this watch party and discussion of the EU5 official announcement. Shame we didn't get an announcement date, and that probably means that the game is going to take quite a long time then. Why do I look like a Redditor? I don't know. I'm sorry. It's just what happens.
It's because you're bald.
He's not overweight enough for that.
Yeah. Like,
It's
why are you
because
calling
Would a
him this?
Redditor have arms like this?
Yes.
Joffrey,
Yes.
he called you a Redditor. Prove him wrong by going and taking a shower.
Exactly.
Oh.
No, I refuse. There's gameplay to watch.
Then you are.
It's
then
com-
you are a Redditor.
It's confirmed.
Then
He
so
uses
be
4chan.
it.
It's confirmed.
Then so be it. There is work to be done. Shower on camera,
4chan user.
coward. Prove it. Yeah. Thank you
He's
all
like,
for
"Don't
watching. Thank you all
Doing
for
this on
watching.
gold.
And I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.
Long